Welcome back to this episode of Untitled Conversations. I am your host, Joy. This is the podcast where we talk about everything faith, life, and the world as we know it. And as you guys can see, there's a man sitting on my couch.
What's good?
This man is my brother.
What's happening?
From the same mother.
What's happening?
This is Josh. Josh, introduce yourself. Tell the people about you.
What do you want to know?
What you want them to know about you?
I'm Josh, Joy's big brother. It's my homie.
My dog.
Since the beginning, you feel me?
I known him his whole life, for real.
No, I've known you your whole life.
No,
you have
no,
not
no.
known me. You have not known me.
You lived 7 years of life without me. That's not anything that you remember
but
for real.
I remember your whole life. You don't remember my whole life.
I do, because you know what I'm saying?
You don't, though.
I was up there watching.
You wasn't.
I was? How you gonna tell me what I was doing?
You was not, though.
You don't know that.
All right, whatever.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
But it's me.
Yes, so this is my brother.
Born and raised.
Yep, born and raised by the same lovely parents in the same lovely household.
Skip and Riri.
Correct.
Goats.
Mama T.
Shout out Skip, actually.
Papa Skip.
Shout out Skip. All the homies know. Shout out Skip.
For sure. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure.
Most people call mom Mama T, though. I feel like that's like
That's fair.
And then dad is just
Skip.
Dad.
He skipped to me.
Pastor Shipman.
Reverend Doctor
Sheldon.
Bro, I remember
R.
I was in high school and my young theater, Jason, met Dad for the first time. And he introduced, how you doing, Mr. Shipman? He said, it's Reverend Dr. Shipman. I said, oh, my bad. My fault.
He said, I worked hard for the doctorate and the PhD.
My bad. Virginia Union.
So,
my fault.
I'm correct, right?
My fault.
Anyway, so on this episode, we're just gonna, first of all, we're gonna pray. Because we need prayer.
Indeed.
Especially in this good old world that we're living in currently.
And the weather outside? Boy.
We're gonna get into
Y'all,
that.
she got me up here in the cold. It's cold up here. It's cold.
You see, he got on a full sweatsuit and a beanie inside.
It's cold.
Like there's not heat.
But it's cold outside.
There's heat.
I ain't got no cut,
heat.
so.
There's literally heat.
Beanie on the head.
Right. Anywho, cool. Let's get into some prayer while I find us a good volume, because we're really loud in my headphones right now. Turn me up in the headphones. Anyway, here we are. Dear Lord, we come to you in this moment asking you to be present in this conversation as me and Josh talk about God knows what. I pray that you would allow us to deliver a message to whoever's on the other side of this mic and on the other side of this camera. I ask that you would speak through us right now. Holy Spirit, be present in this moment with us. And I ask that you would allow someone on the other side of this pod to get a word from you, whether that is us through this conversation in some way, Lord God. I ask that you would be seen. Be with us right now in this moment. I ask that you would allow peace to fall over this moment and allow us to just speak from the heart. We love you, Lord. We thank you. We praise you and ask this prayer in the name of your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Boom, boom, boom. All right,
Boom,
so let's
bam,
get into it. So as he said, I got him up here in the cold. It's currently like
7 degrees outside.
7 degrees outside.
7.
As you guys know,
13 inches of snow on the ground.
This would have come. We're recording this in the midst of a snowstorm, right? So by this time later, when this episode comes out, the entire eastern seaboard has gone through a winter apocalypse of a storm.
Whatever you want to call it.
Right. And so me and Josh drove back out to Connecticut. And we were having some conversations that, we were like, let's take this to the pod, right?
For sure.
And so we were kind of just talking through how, like, one, growing up as PKs, I talk about that a lot on the pod because it's my life. Like, I can't avoid it. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
But we were kind of talking through how, like, one, we grew up in the same household with the same parents, but we didn't grow up the same. I think that goes for anybody that has siblings. Like, each child doesn't grow up the same, especially
even if you are twins, like I am.
Correct. So, like, even you. So he has a twin sister, Jamil. I've mentioned her before as well. But like, even you and Jamil being twins didn't grow up the same.
Right.
And then let alone me coming 7 years later.
Surprise,
Saude.
Surprise,
I didn't grow up the same, especially because y'all were twins.
Right.
And then it was just me.
Right.
So we were kind of talking through, like, life, one, as a PK, but then life, like, we've never had that conversation of, I don't think we've ever gone into that conversation of, like, what it was like growing up.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So welcome to a therapy session.
We in therapy now?
Maybe not therapy, but like
Come sit on my couch.
Yeah. Come join us.
Come sit on the couch.
The Untitled Couch.
Sit on the couch.
But yeah. So first, I guess I'll ask you from your perspective, what was your vantage point? Because I've told kind of my vantage point in a previous episode of what it was like growing up as PK.
Give me the brief snapshot of your
The
vantage
brief
point
snapshot.
first.
Okay. So for me, no, I want to hear yours because you came first.
All right.
Because you
That's
were
fair.
you were
That's
PK
fair.
for seven
That's
years
fair.
before I came.
That's fair. That's fair.
So what was PK life as a kid, being in church while dad's still pastoring, but like what was it like being in church every Sunday, and then we'll go up until college when you left for college.
So you want all of it right now? For just
like you don't have to go into do whatever the Lord lays on your heart.
Yeah, I think so. Growing up as a PK, it is one of those things where you like you just think it's normal, right? Like in church on Sundays, in church on Wednesdays, in church on Tuesdays, right?
Thursday for choir
rehearsal.
Saturday for missionaries.
Or vacate, whatever it is, right? We in the church throughout the week.
Correct.
So it just becomes like normalcy. Especially as a kid, you don't really know anything. I didn't know anything different. Yeah. Like I tell people all the time, like I would say until honestly, like late middle school, high school, my friends were the people I went to church with.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have like I got a couple friends that I went and hung out with like on weekends and stuff like that. But like sleepovers, going to people's houses, it was all like after church on Sundays, or if it was going over during the week, it was like these are my friends from church.
Yeah.
Right. And at Greenville, there was, a ton of kids are my age, like growing up. So, but yeah, it was just normal. And life was like good, right? Like we didn't have any problems. We grew up in the suburbs, like whatever. So
we are suburban babies.
Suburban babies. So yeah, I think everything was just like normal, and I didn't really think anything different of it. And then middle school, I think it was when like things started to like get shaky, right? Like Grandpa George passed away.
Yep.
I think you had just been born, or
no, I was like 4 when he passed.
Okay, 4 years old, but young.
4 or 5, yeah.
But like we grew up going to my grandpa's house in Durham, and so it was just like one of those things where
you said my grandpa like he wasn't my grandpa too, but go ahead.
He was your grandpa
for sure,
but you didn't like know him like we knew him.
Whatever.
All right, whatever.
I had at least 5 years with him.
You did.
Not, but I will say that I don't remember Grandpa George as much as I remember Grandma Louise.
Right, sure. Obviously. So like when he passed away, it was kind of this first like gut punch or like shake in my life. It was like, whoa. Everything I knew about the Lord or whatever is like kind of like flipped upside down for me. Because it was like growing up, it's like, God's caring, he died for your sins.
Right.
For your
God
salvation.
is good all the
God
time.
Is good. And all the time, God is good. Amen.
Hello.
So like when that happened, it was like I didn't know how to deal with it or anything like that. And it kind of just like made me pretty angry, like at the Lord and at my parents and at my family. Just like it's just like confused, right? And so that was like the first instance in my life where I figured I started like questioning like God's character and who he is. And also I think for the longest time growing up, it was like God, not like Jesus, right?
Yeah.
It was more just like, oh, God this, God that, God this. And I would say when I was growing up, I thought that like heaven and like all that stuff was like hereditary, right? Like, dad's a pastor, mom's first lady. I go to church all the time. I'm straight.
Right.
I'm going to heaven. I'm good.
Regardless, I'm good. Yep.
But like when Grandpa George died, it was kind of like, dang, what if God's so good? Like, why he let my dog go like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think I just became like pretty angry at.
He looks just like our grandfather. For anybody that wants to
Fernie, shout out to Fernie.
Yes.
Shout out Fernie.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that was just like the first time where like I started to question things of like, it's got real. What is this whole thing that we've kind of grown up accustomed to just like knowing and doing? And yeah, I just came like pretty angry at like life, really,
And what, a sharp 13?
A crisp 13, 12 to a 13, crisp.
Mad at the world.
Just mad.
Fair.
But it was like also one of those things where like you would never know it, right? Like
correct.
No one knew that I was angry or mad or upset. It was like come out in spurts or like things would trigger it. And that was like pretty much the end of middle school into high school. and then you want me to get into high school
Yeah, go
too?
ahead.
And then high school starts, and I think
He's a wild child.
it wasn't even like that. It was just like the anger that I was feeling for those like late years in middle school. I was kind of like lost who I was, right? I didn't
Fair.
really know. I was like, this isn't me, right?
Yeah.
So getting to high school, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and recreate myself, right? And I was like, all right, try to play sports. Let's do sports, and then became friends and the parties and all that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think I was just like running
Yeah.
from like life. Like I didn't want to do life. I was just kind of just like, this is it, right?
Right.
Like, what else is there? And yeah, I would say freshman year of high school was pretty dark.
Fair.
In the sense of like I was going everywhere and doing everything to like take my mind off of like what I was feeling at the time, right?
Fair.
So yeah, I think I smoked a lot of weed in high school and was like chasing after these like things we call like temporary satisfactions,
Right.
like parties and girls and drug, alcohol, all the stuff, right? And it got to the point where I was like, I don't really need to be here anymore. And, I had the thoughts of taking my own life and stuff
Right.
like that. But like at the end of the day, it was just my life, right? I just
Right.
still was going to church
Yep.
and still like doing the normalcy of this like Christian life,
Right.
right? But on the inside was like running and trying to numb myself from everything that I was feeling. And then sophomore year started going to Young Life.
Yep.
Pretty heavily, not pretty heavily at first, but
Can you briefly explain what Young Life is?
I
like in a
can.
nutshell.
Yeah. Young Life
is
is like a high school outreach ministries, non-denominational, but it's for high school, college, middle school kids, where Young Life leaders, full time and volunteer, go into schools and befriend students in hopes to get them to the foot of the cross and tell them about Jesus. So it's like one of those things where it's like a youth group, but not really a youth group because I think it's more. The mission statement is to introduce teens to
Find it.
Whoa.
Find it. You're good.
Whoa.
Reset. Mm-hmm.
Introduce adolescents to Jesus Christ and help them grow in their faith.
Gotcha.
So they're after the kids that would never step foot in a church,
Right.
or know nothing about Jesus, or want to know nothing about Jesus, but also welcoming to those kids who
already do.
already do, or
Right.
already want to know Jesus. So yeah, I started going to Young Life, and it was like one of those things where I walked in, I was like, well, this is fun. Like, one, all the people I was partying with kind of were at Young Life.
Right.
So I knew them, but also at the end of the day, it was like a place you could go and not have to be judged or thought differently if you wanted to act a fool, right? Like, acting a fool in a black household. Jokes.
Good luck, Chuck.
What?
Good luck, Chuck.
When you get this look right here?
It's
Raps.
Cooked.
So going to Young Life was like fun and exciting, but like every time that somebody would get up at the end and talk about Jesus, I would kind of like tune it out. I remember the first Young Life club I went to. It was at I think Rachel Epley's house, and walked in, had a great time. But as soon as somebody got up to talk about, it was like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about Jesus," I was like, I'm gonna get out of here." So I literally got up, tried to walk out, and my Young Life leader Jason was like, "Hey man, where you going?" I was like, "To the bathroom." He's like, "All right, man, go ahead. I'll wait for you." I was like, "Okay." So I walked to the bathroom and went and sat down. So I just like tuned it out. But it was one of the places I kept going, and I was like, it was fun.
Listened.
I felt welcomed, and I would say for that first like, so I went to the first club like right before first semester was over, sophomore year, it's a Christmas club, and then went all that next semester. But every time somebody would get up and talk about Jesus, I would tune it out. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. Like, nothing.
But I guess too, on top of that, because you were hearing, I don't even want to say hearing, but we were also talking about in the car how like even like sitting in church.
Oh,
and
for
dad
sure.
is preaching.
For sure.
As kids, respectfully, we're in church every Sunday.
Sure,
I'm not listening.
Yeah.
I'm not listening.
I mean, it's not repetitive, but it's like,
we already heard this.
I've been here before.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and it could be a completely different message.
100%.
Because it's not like he preached the same thing every Sunday.
100%.
But
So
it's like we're sitting there.
Yeah. So I think going to Young Life, it was more so just like I went because of the people.
Yeah.
And because it was fun, and like we went to Chick-fil-A and cookout afterwards, and it was like fun hangs, but the piece that about Jesus, I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. So, but shout out Jason Shaw, because that whole next semester, I would hang out with Jason. He would ask me to go get food. I never brought my wallet, and he always got pissed.
Did you not bring your wallet on purpose?
Absolutely.
Of course. You were
I didn't have
what?
no money in high school. What?
Fair.
I
You
ain't
had a job?
I ain't had no job.
You didn't have a job in
Me?
high school? That's fair.
I worked at Baskin Robbins for 2 months before
That's fair.
basketball season. Senior
Jamil
year,
had a
and that
job.
was
You
it.
did not have a
Jamil had a
job.
job all 4 years.
Correct.
I wasn't that. That wasn't me.
No, we know.
But yeah, he kept asking me to hang out and would show up at my games and all this kind of stuff. Everything that young life leaders do well. And he would ask me, he's like, "Hey, we're going to summer camp. You should come." And I was like, I asked my parents.
Never asked.
I never asked my parents. Never. And it got to like end of school, and he said, "Hey, can I get your dad's number?" I was like, "For what?" He's like, "I just want to call him and talk to him about camp." I was like, "Okay, sure." He called dad and said, "Hey, I've raised $750 for your son to go to camp. Can he go? It's free." He said, "Yeah, can his sister go too?" I was like, oh, God. So here I am.
Not me.
Yeah, the twin. So here I am on a bus. I know 0 people. Me and another guy from my school go, and then some girls that I knew, and Jamil was on this bus to go to camp. Don't want to be there. We get to camp, and no joke, they say it's the week-long summer camp at Young Life is the best week of your life. It really was. And that was 2011.
You're aging yourself.
Woo, Chad. Long time ago.
Long time ago.
But I can't remember all the details from the week. But what I do remember is, for the first time in my life, I felt like I fully processed what the gospel was. The life of Jesus, creation,
Yep.
need, sin, the cross, resurrection, appropriation. Like, what do I do with that? And I just remember at a point in my life where I felt like I was unlovable, unworthy of anybody's love. I heard about Jesus dying on a cross for my sins because he loved me, right? And growing up as PK, it's like you've heard this story, right? Hundreds, thousands of times.
Yep.
But when they broke it down, the way they broke it down, it was just like, oh, this is like tangible. Like I can have this in my own life, right? So yeah, I was like, whatever that is, I kind of want to figure out how I can get it, you know? So I would say from then on out in high school, it was more of like a trying to follow Jesus, which is honestly what we're still trying to do today, right?
For sure.
We just wake up and try to follow Jesus every day. But it was like trying to figure out what that looked like in high school. And I would say I was more like in love with Young Life than I was with Jesus at the time, you know?
Yeah.
Because I came back and like I want all my friends to go to Young Life, and I would like go to Young Life after practice, like not going home to shower. Like I just wanted to be at Young Life all the time. Right. So yeah, that's kind of like how I would say middle school, high school, walk with the Lord. I would say foundation was set from a very young age growing up in church, but then kind of started to become my own when I was a sophomore in high school and getting involved with Young Life and stuff like that. So
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, at least like I said, from conversations we've had on the way up here, and then conversations I had with other PKs, it seems like we all have the foundation of growing up in church, being in church 9 days out of 7 days out of the week, right? Every day of the week is church.
Right.
And to some extent, we all, I don't want to say we all, but out of the PK friends that I have that I know, right? We all seem to have the foundation, appreciate the foundation, but the foundation, we later come to know Jesus for ourselves, right? So I think on a previous episode, I had said something along the lines of like, in the last, I'd say 5 years, I came to know Jesus for myself, not mommy and daddy's Jesus. And like just how you said, like you thought heaven was inheritant, and it's not, right? I guess when for you was that moment when you were like, hold on, I guess, or was that moment during Young Life, or was there something after that I guess happened, or once you got to college that you were like, okay, bet, say less?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that moment at camp in 2011 was like, a relationship. I never knew that was like a thing, right? Like it was just like, oh, God's out there, you know, like I'm a Christian, but it was like, oh, this is like a relationship like I have like with you, like a friend or a sister or brother, mom, dad, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like an actual relationship, like active, like living thing that I can have. I would say that wasn't like the ooh. You okay?
Keep talking.
It's like that active living thing is like something that is attainable, right? When I said like it's tangible, like
Right.
something that you can like have,
Correct.
not like this like
Mythical.
not even mythical, just like far off thing that like oh
Yeah.
God's far away. No, like God's like with me right now, you know. So I would say that was like the spark,
Okay.
and then I would say it didn't really become like real until I got to college. So got to college, played lacrosse for a year and a half at a small school in Greensboro, but became a young athlete in my freshman year.
Right.
And freshman year, first semester was kind of just like, I got all this free time, freedom, I can do whatever I want. So, but was in leader training that semester, and then once I became a young life leader and was like, oh, I'm telling high school kids about this Jesus and the life that I live because of him. Oh, my like life has to reflect my relationship with Jesus, right? It can't just be like this thing that I'm saying. So I would say that was when it became like more of like a setting thing in my heart, right? High school was like, oh, it's this new thing. It's like, whoa, I can have this. And in college is when it became like, oh, no, I can have it. I want this, like, for my own life.
Got you. All right, so now let's talk through being a kid, right?
Okay.
So we got your vantage point.
So
Everybody has my vantage point because I've spoken on it, right?
Okay.
So growing up in, like you said, we suburb kids, respectfully.
Suburban babies.
Nothing wrong with being a suburb baby.
Uh-uh.
But life from, I guess, the PK standpoint, right? Respectfully, you hated me when I was a kid. He didn't hate me.
All right.
But
hate is a strong word.
Mm.
We were siblings, okay? I was the older brother, you were the younger sister. Let's be real. Come on now.
Bullying.
That we calling it that? That's what we calling it?
Felt like it.
How?
You used to beat me up.
No, I
Beat
didn't.
me over the head.
No, I didn't.
I have the scar to prove it. That
okay.
wasn't you. Didn't.
All right. Okay. All right. First of all, we're gonna clear the air right now. Okay. We were wrestling, and I may have pushed you, but we were wrestling
for sure.
It wasn't like on purpose.
And you know what's crazy? For the longest time, I covered for you.
You did. Real one. For sure.
Of course.
You're a real one. For sure.
I have a scar on my head. We used to, WWE is a thing now. I mean,
You're
it's
real
been a
one.
thing for forever.
You're a real one. For sure.
But WWE is coming back. And we were tussling. His bed used to be the WWE rink.
Right.
And
for
we
sure.
was tussling, whatever. He accidentally pushed me. I didn't fall because there's no way I fell that hard.
You might have slipped a little bit.
Doubt it.
Right.
Anyway,
whatever.
Pushed me. Mind you, I'm 5. You're what?
5?
I was like 5.
I think you were like 8.
I was not 8. I was in elementary school.
All right, so you was 5 and I was what, 13, 14?
Right. So imagine me, little old 5-year-old, trying to body slam him or him trying to body slam me. I hit my head on the corner of a dresser, screaming out for my mother.
Shh, don't cry. Please don't cry. Please don't cry.
Wait. And then you saw the blood. You were like, oh, okay.
I got to go get somebody.
Right.
Because
Anyway,
I'm scared.
Correct. Moral of the story was we just became friends like 3 years ago.
That's cap. It was like, I would say it was probably your sophomore, junior year of college. I was like, oh, she all right.
Okay. So before that, though,
Right.
we lived very different lives.
For sure.
Because to this day, you will always call me what?
A little bit.
No. You always say, I am.
The baby.
No. Find it. An only child.
Oh, yeah. 100% you an only child.
No, I'm not. I have 2 siblings.
Bruh.
To this day, he will always say I'm the only child because I'm sorry I didn't come into this world with someone else.
So me saying that is more so because the pivotal years of your life.
For sure. I was the only child for 4 years.
7th to junior year of high school.
Correct.
You were in the house by yourself.
Not by choice.
I didn't say by choice. But for those years, you got treated way differently than we got treated.
And that has nothing to do with me.
I didn't say it did,
Okay.
but it makes you an only child.
Negative. But moral of the story, we just became friends, right?
Yeah.
And so from my vantage point, right, growing up as a PK, I think was different from the standpoint of you and Jam always were doing stuff together. So like you said, going to spend the night at people's houses,
sure.
all
sure.
of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Whereas me, like you guys always had each other, right? You guys went to the same school. You guys, when you guys started driving in high school, y'all drove together. Y'all were able to do things. And me personally, as a child, I was mad because I'm like, well, that Josh and Jamil get to do it, but I'm like, girl, you're 7 years younger, like you can't. Looking back now, right?
Thank you.
Y'all, we used to go drop y'all off at Sports Connection to go skating, and now I gotta go home.
I can't skate,
But like little things like that, to where like friendships, relationships were developed
Mhm.
differently,
Mhm.
right? Just like, again, like I said, only child treatment, baby child treatment. Only child's a stretch.
Okay.
But certain things that you experienced, one as a twin, but two as the oldest, and then three as the only boy, are very different than me, the baby, the youngest girl, right? So I guess we can talk through what it was like. I guess my question is, do you feel there were certain obligations or pressures? I mean, you're a guy, so of course, but like from a faith-based standpoint, did you feel like you had to be like an example, or were there certain things that you had to do, or were you able to split that quote unquote responsibility with Jamil, if that makes sense?
Yeah. I think so. I think growing up as a twin, I tell you this all the time. It never is like for you growing up, it was just you. Like not just you, but it was like joy, right? You were the baby,
Right.
You growing up, me and Jamil, especially before you were born, it was like always the twins. It was never Josh and Jamil. It was always, oh, what the twins doing? The twins this, twins that.
Right.
Never, oh, how's Josh doing? How's Jamil doing?
Okay, fair.
That. So, I think growing up in that, there was always this like underlying comparison, really, at least in my brain. Maybe there wasn't, but yeah, I don't know if I would say I felt any like responsibility. I mean, it was like I'm the boy, only boy, and the oldest, right? It's just kind of what it was,
Right.
But I think maybe not responsibility, but it was like, yeah, like one, you are the only boy in the Shipman household, and dad holds a lot of weight in the Charlotte community, especially in the Black community. Like, oh yes, you skip, son. Oh, you skip, son, and it's like, yeah, I am. So it's like one of those things where maybe not like responsibility to like not act up or whatever. I mean, we wouldn't act up in school anyways,
because mom was down the street.
Mom down the road.
Mom down the street.
Mom down the street.
Instant phone call, pull up.
No, like down the street.
Correct. She go walk over
0.5 miles from the school. So I feel like growing up was like more like that of just like not like a fear, but it was like, nah, we can't act out. Mom's right there. But I don't know. No, I would say no to responsibility.
Okay.
Really. I think once we got to high school, me and Jamil kind of took like different routes about how high school went. Like we know Jamil,
right?
Homebody,
for sure.
Pretty introverted until she has to be extroverted.
Yep.
Like she had her crew of friends. But like she would go to school, come home, homework, went to work, came home, went to bed. That's Jamil, right?
Meanwhile, he was in these streets.
Okay, streets is crazy because
Just
I was
kidding.
not.
Just kidding.
Maybe a little bit, but
slightly.
TC, if you see this, don't say nothing. But yeah, so like Jamil was very much just like that's just who she was, right? And that's just who she is even to this day. She's very like
in the crib.
That's just what she be.
She
at.
is in the sheets, not in the streets.
But like I was not like maybe not in the streets, but I was like very social. Like I had friends and I was out doing things. I was at practice, and she had a job all 4 years. I had a job for 3 months in high school.
Correct.
You know,
one thing Josh is not going to do is work. I'm just kidding, guys. In high school, you did not work.
I didn't.
In college, you barely worked.
I had a job for 3 years in college. Chill out.
Where did you work in college?
At the YMCA.
Really?
I was out of school counselor.
Never.
And
knew
a
that.
ref.
Never knew that.
And a coach. Don't do that.
I thought you just did Young Life, but that didn't really
No,
pay
don't
you.
Don't play me. I had to make money to eat.
Fair.
Don't play me like that.
I really did not know these things.
It's crazy.
You learn something new every day.
But yeah, I say once we got into high school, so she went kind of the just chill mode route, and I was just like out and about all the time. Fair. Young Life, practice, friends, after school.
Yep.
You know, whatever the case may be. And I think there was maybe some comparison in the sense of like, oh, Jamil's very studious. Correct. I wasn't studious. I got good grades though. Like right, like through 3.85 in high school, sure. Honor roll student, whatever.
Life legs.
But yeah, I just think there was this like it was always this comparison, and it wasn't like maybe sometimes it was unhealthy or bad, but like most of the time it was just like what it was, right? It was just Jamil and Josh. It's like, oh, what is Jamil gonna do? What's Josh gonna
Right.
do? You know,
So the separation happened. Not the separation, but like the identity outside
right,
of being twins
right.
came in
In
high
high
school.
school, yeah,
Okay.
because we could like middle school, you weren't really do like anything
There
you
was
want
nothing to do.
anything you want to do. Your parents had to take you to do it.
Correct.
But
Right.
like
Right. Right.
high school, you get friends that have cars and you can go do things and stuff
Right.
like that, and you get license,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Um, and I bet you felt a little bit of that of just like in in middle school, it's like, oh, you can't really do a ton, but
No, for
high
sure.
school, you know. So yeah, I would say this not the split, not separation, but like the
Individuality.
when I became me, she became her in high school is when it kind of started to the twins became
Josh and Jamil.
right,
Gotcha.
right,
Gotcha.
right.
I guess so from that, I guess we were also having the conversation in the car outside of like growing up in church, but like, okay, where are we now? Right.
Mhm.
So it's like we both had solid foundation. Obviously,
Mhm.
grew up differently, but the same. Solid foundation, but we both you found I don't say you found the Lord. We all that was the one that we were talking about of like we knew who the Lord was.
Mhm.
We knew, like you said, God, but not particularly Jesus, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I think similarly we both kind of had I don't want to say, I guess it could be radical. There was a transformation of some point that
Right,
happened
right,
when we were
right,
in
right,
college,
right.
right? For me, it was going to a new church, finding community in that church
Mhm.
that kind of lit that fire into me to where I was like I'm all in for Jesus, right? And I never was not all in for Jesus. Like you
Mhm.
said, we grew up in church, hearing dad preach every Sunday
Right.
or tuning him out. Sorry, dad. Just being honest. If you're watching this, you're a great minister. And then even we were talking about like now listening to dad is very different
Right.
because
Right.
respectfully we kind of weren't listening to him.
We have different ears now.
Correct. We
Right.
have the ability, like there's a different awareness
Mhm.
of what we're
Mhm.
listening to. Because before it was just like, okay, dad's preaching. It
Mhm.
wasn't necessarily like what is he preaching about, but
Mhm.
like you said, that norm of like being in church every Sunday. It was
Mhm.
just like, all right, dad's going to work.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
think that's an interesting perspective because it's like for someone who's not a PK, you go to church with your parents as
Mhm.
opposed to we went to our dad's church. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So coming out of that, like I said, for me in college, I had that conversation with dad of, hey, I need to go somewhere else to get what I need, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
no knock to what he was preaching, right? He was
Mhm.
preaching.
Mhm.
He's a very biblically sound preacher,
Mhm.
but I needed somewhere where I had community because I think too, as I went through high school, the youth in the church, we were kind of like my class was kind of like that last
Mhm.
phase
It was
of
the last wave
big
for sure.
youth, and
For
like
sure.
even then, that was even like light compared to what it was for like y'all
Mhm.
and like our in between, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so going to college, going to a new church, finding that new community was kind of when that light was lit. And I was just like, whoa, okay, Jesus is really that guy. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
He that guy.
As before, it was like, we hear about Easter, we hear about Christmas
Mhm. Mhm.
every single year, multiple times throughout the year. It just wasn't, there was no weight to it, right?
Mhm.
And then getting to college and actually diving into the word, actually reading the Bible. Because respectfully, I don't remember reading the Bible that much as a child.
Sure.
I don't know how many kids do remember reading the Bible as a child.
Sure.
But we were having the conversation of like, how do we how do I want to say this? How do we critique but appreciate, if that makes
Sure.
sense? So like acknowledging, hey, we had a great foundation, but there are some lapses that we need to address so the way they don't continue.
Mhm.
What would you say one were those lapses that we were kind of talking through, but then two, what was that fire? You can answer those in either way.
Um, I mean, I think I see a lot of it in the young life world too. Of like
Okay.
these kids, they don't grow up as PKs per se, but very similar, right?
Grow up in
Like
church. Yeah, yeah.
you go to church with your family. It's not you're not going to your dad's job or mom's job, but you go to church with your family, with families that have families on Young Life staff or grow up in Young Life kind of deal. You know, you're at camps every summer. You know, hearing about Jesus all the time. But I think I don't know. I think there is this piece of, at least for us, at least for me growing up, I think there wasn't enough like focus on, hey, you can meet the Lord as a child, right? Like
Mhm.
you can say that I want to have a relationship with Jesus at whatever age, right? Some people do. Like some people
Right.
meet the Lord, they really like meet the Lord when they're younger, and um,
They stayed the course.
right. But some also veer,
Yeah.
which is what it is. But I think growing up, it was more so like church and like life wasn't separate. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like my life was like growing up in the church. It
Correct.
wasn't like this thing that was separated.
Church wasn't just a Sunday thing. It wasn't like,
Right.
hey, we're
Or
going to church on Sunday.
or even like I wasn't going to church because I was like trying to follow Jesus.
Fair.
Right.
We grew up in church because we had to be there.
Right. I wasn't going to church because I wanted to get fed or I wanted to be like, I wasn't going to church to like grow in my faith.
Fair,
I was
fair.
just, we were just going to church
Right.
because
Right.
we
Right. It was the right
had
thing
to be
do.
there.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I would say college is when I like started to figure out what church I wanted to go to or where I wanted to go and be fed. But yeah, I just think the posture of going to church just changes when you find this like, all right, I want my relationship with Jesus, so now I got to figure out how to get fed, whether that's going to a Bible study or having a conversation with your friends and going to church. But it's like
Right.
when I'm making an active decision about where I want to go to church, right? Like, and we talk about this. It's like going back to church now with where Dad preaches. It's like, oh, he really talking
Right.
about something. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Where it's
something.
like I said, like my ears are tuned differently now than they were then.
For sure.
And I think that is the key of like, oh, I, you know, decided, okay, I want to follow Jesus for me.
Yeah.
And now it's like my posture, the lenses of my eyes, my ears are different. I'm hearing things, I see things differently. So yeah, I think for me it was when I got to college is really when I decided like, oh no, I need to go find church for myself because like I need to be fed.
Right.
Right. I can't like, especially as a young life leader or just as a believer in general, like you can't pour out of yourself if you're not being poured into. Right.
Yeah.
And not to say that we weren't poured into growing up.
Right.
But it's just different.
For sure. And I think too like we said, like it wasn't like we weren't getting stuff in church.
Right.
But like you said, because it was so normal and because we were just like you said, there wasn't church and state, it was just church. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no separation. Right. But at the same time, we were also talking about how like mom and dad didn't force Jesus or God down our throats, which to some degree, like I feel like there's the good in that and the bad in that, right? Because it's like being that they didn't shove it in our face and they kind of let us, like they weren't strict, but like they didn't play respectfully.
It was one of those things where it's like we knew what we could do and then things that was like, oh, we can figure this out, right? It was like, I don't know. Can I say this?
I don't know.
Don't get anybody pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Don't end up in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We knew like the things of like what right and wrong.
Correct.
But also they let us like
figure stuff out.
Make decisions, figure stuff out, make mistakes, learn from them, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think they weren't strict. They were.
I thought they were strict personally. No, not strict, but like
no, I don't want to say strict because people like some people have strict parents.
For sure,
they were not strict.
But for me, I think because of the people I was around in school, we also had two different schooling experiences.
Sure.
So the people I was around in school, I'm thinking mom and dad are strict because I can't go to this middle school party. Looking back now, they weren't strict. No, but in the moment growing up, I'm like, I have the strictest parents in the world. I can't do anything, right?
Sure. Because, and I would say that's where maybe we were different.
For sure.
We're like. At least for me, like I feel like I.
But I think too that goes to you and Jamil were able to do more stuff. In my opinion, like I always thought y'all had all the freedom in the world.
Sure.
But that's because y'all got to do stuff together. Whereas like me, if I asked
I
to
see
go
what
do
you're saying.
something,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
had to go with my friends and it was just me.
Uh-huh.
Whereas like, and you're a boy, so if Jamil wanted to go do something and you were willing to go with her, more than likely mom and dad were
Right,
more
right,
likely to
right, right, right,
let
right,
y'all
right,
go
right, right.
because you had your brother with you. Whereas like me,
Big dog.
all right. Whereas me, it's like, okay, if I'm asking to go do something, I'm going with my female friends.
Right.
So it's like I'm asking to go to this middle school party. Again, I was never a partier thanks to my parents not letting me go to middle school parties. I shouldn't have been going to middle school parties.
Middle school
But
parties is crazy.
but as a middle schooler,
Insane.
I wanted to go to the lit parties.
Insane.
And I'm like, why can't I go? Again, mom and dad were protecting me at the end of the day. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Because
right.
like nothing really ever happened, but like that was a spirit that could have gotten into me
Sure.
like, at a very young age to
Sure.
where I would have wilded out a lot more
Sure.
once I got to a little bit more freedom.
Sure.
Right. And so, like I said, looking back, it was all protection. But in the moment, it was very much like, in the moment, it was very much like, why can't I go? Like Josh and Jamil get to go do all these things with their friends. Jesus. Josh and Jamil get to go do all these things with their friends. Meanwhile, I'm stuck at the house.
Right.
And so, again, they didn't force stuff on us, but they still let us have some freedom, like you said, to make decisions. But, like I said, on the flip side of that, I feel like there could have been more, but I appreciate them not because we got to make that decision for ourselves to follow Christ, as opposed to like kind of how we were talking about in the car, forcing it down forcing God down your kids' throats to where I don't want to say that's all they know, but like kind of I forgot what we were talking about, but like growing up where like we could have grown up in a gated community and we wouldn't have had the experience to know Jesus. Not saying that knowing Jesus only comes from struggle because we didn't necessarily struggle, respectfully.
I think not necessarily from struggle. I think you have to get to a point where you recognize your need.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can have everything you need, right? And from a worldly sense, right?
Yeah.
Money, house, car,
all the clothes in the world,
clothes,
shoes, all that fun stuff. Yeah,
food, lights, whatever. But it's like until you've like what people call like rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
Like until you have that rock bottom moment, whatever it is, it can be, oh, this person passed away, or oh, I, lost my job, or whatever it is.
I would say everybody's bad is different, so everybody's rock bottom
Right.
could be different.
But like
my rock bottom could literally be, I'm not gonna claim depression, but like it could have been, oh, I was just in a hole, right?
Right. Or I was just like, I didn't make a team, or I got bad grades. You know what I'm saying? Rock bottom is rock bottom.
Right.
But like until you have that rock bottom moment, you don't really see the need for the Lord in your life.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think.
But I think we were able to come to that. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
We like I said, we didn't necessarily grow up in a struggle or in we had what we needed when we grew up, right? But at the same time, because I think mom and dad didn't force the God is good, like the Jesus, we were able to get to that place of need. But we were able to get to that place of need because they allowed us to figure it out, right? So if they hadn't allowed us to figure it out, like I said, it may have taken us longer to get to that place of need. Whereas I think all three of us kind of came to it in college, where we were like, because respectfully, college is the first time you get freedom. You're on your own. Mommy and daddy's not there to wake you up.
Decisions.
Right. You can make your own decisions, and those decisions come with consequences, right? So it's like, if I decide I don't feel like waking up to go to class, but I get an F on something that I didn't learn because I didn't go to class, that could be, at moment, right? For me, I'm trying to figure out, like, pinpoint what that moment was.
Yeah, what was your rock bottom moment?
I'm trying to think. So for me in college, I smoked, I drank. I feel like everybody did. Not everybody, but,
Sure.
Right. I think, I'm not gonna lie, college, I started college in COVID. So I think right. So I think that unknowingly took a big toll on me. Cause like in the moment when, like, one day I'll never forget is March 13th. It was my last day of high school.
Okay.
right? That was when they announced, hey, we're going to be out.
COVID is here.
Right. We're going to be out for 2 weeks.
It never came back.
And then that 2 weeks turned in, hey, we're going to be out for the rest of the month. And then we never came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in the moment, it was great because it was like, oh, I don't have to do more work. Because like as seniors, and if you had good grades, you were straight,
out of there.
right? So all I really did was yearbook, respectfully, because we had to have a yearbook. And then then we were in the house until August, but they still allowed us to come to campus. And got to campus.
Like in Winston campus?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, but there was nothing on campus. Like we were going to classes. I think I probably had 2 in-person classes out of the 5 classes I had.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But then the rest of the classes were online. So it was just a very interesting time to be on campus. And it was really only a lot of freshmen on campus because everybody else had moved out and they were like, we're not coming back to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't sit and eat in the caf. Like there were so many things that like weren't the college experience we were hoping for, but everybody was like, we've been in the house for 5 months, we ready to get out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had my like high school friends because respectfully a lot of people from Barry went to Winston. Like we split between Winston and A&T, respectfully.
HBCU, shout out to HBCUs.
Shout out to HBCUs. And so I think the ebbs and flows of like trying to deal with a pandemic, trying to make friends, trying to like, because like freshman year is respectfully like the year you wild out, figure out who you are, and then you correct it for the next 3 years, right? Hopefully. And like respectfully, we did that. I did that, but it was just on a different scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So smoked a lot of weed, drank a lot of alcohol because there was literally nothing else for us to do. Should we have been doing those things? No, especially not in the pandemic. But like that was what it was, right? And so then I think sophomore year, stuff started to open up a little bit more. I kind of found my friends because sophomore year is when I met Jen. I was living with Kayla at the time. So like I kind of like things started to like seem like there was a sense of like the light at the end of the tunnel for the pandemic. Like we were still wearing masks and stuff, but like stuff was a little bit more open. And then I think for me, the end of sophomore year was the 3rd time I had COVID.
You did have COVID like
I had COVID
14 times.
I had COVID 4 times, thank you.
Sure.
It was once a year, thank you. Still not great, but anyway.
You bragging like once a year.
It was once a year. But I think like things that I kept getting COVID. Like I'm like, but even in the way that I kept getting COVID, I was going to parties and I kept getting COVID. And I took that as the Lord telling me I didn't need to be at parties.
Well, you think you would learn that the first time, like
for sure, but like
all these parties, like you getting COVID,
right? But like that was the thing, right?
Sure.
That was everybody else was doing it, right?
Sure.
And that's why I always, like I said, I will always thank Mom for not allowing me to go to middle school parties because I probably would have learned my lesson once I got to college.
Sure.
And it still took the Lord giving me good old COVID 3 times for me to learn that lesson, right? But I think being sick and getting sent, I didn't get sent home. I sent myself home because I wouldn't be on campus without my mom. Was sick? No. I went home respectfully to the house where I could be taken care of in the comfort of my own home.
The baby of the family.
Correct. Because who wants to be sick without mom? Like that's so ghetto. Respectfully, I feel like today, if I were to get sick, I'm flying home.
That's crazy.
Or mom is coming up here.
That's insane.
One of the two.
That's insane.
We're just gonna stay healthy.
I just got sick and did not want to be at home.
Fair.
Can continue.
But again, that's where we differ. I want to be with my mom when I'm sick. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, moral of the story is me going through COVID while in school and then going to Ford City and finding like
you went to Ford City what, junior year?
The summer before my junior year.
Okay.
Yeah. And so being in the world for 2 years of college and then finding a place where I'm like, okay, wait, there's 2 sides to this thing. You know what I'm saying? I think I won't even call it my rock bottom moment, was like my wake up moment, right? Because in college, I wasn't going to church, respectfully. Like I would come home on the weekends sometimes, but I was coming home on the weekends to work. I wasn't coming home to go to church. And I wasn't really going to church or even really watching church online during those 2 years. Because I was just like, I'm living life. Like I'm in college. I don't need church, right? I've been in church. That my mindset was, I've been in church my whole life. Like I get 2 years of, like, not 2 years of a break, but like I was like, this is my break, right? Not that I needed it, not that that was the right thinking, but that's where I was at.
Right.
And so then going to Ford City and seeing other people my age that were in college and some not in college because like trade school, all that fun stuff, was like, okay, wait, there's still people doing this church thing and also getting an education. Like, I don't have to be like, and I never felt like I had to party, but it was just like everybody else was doing it. Why would I be lame and say no, right? And so then going into junior year was like, okay, like I'm on fire for the Lord. And even after that, there was still like the teetering of.
You had something. I think
No,
so.
sure.
For me, like, this is like my vantage point of all of that of what you just said that whole time in your life.
For sure.
So, like, for me, your senior year of high school was my first year at Young Life Staff in Bluffton.
Right.
So, like, at that point in my life, I'm like
watching from a distance.
Not even that, but like sold out. I've been like, I was leading Young Life in college and like following Jesus in college, and like Jamil was kind of doing her thing in college, and I would say that me following the Lord was like, if not, didn't feel like I was by myself, but it was like I felt like I was the only one that was like actively trying to like walk the door at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair, yeah.
And so it was like, dang, like I just hope like my hopes and sisters get it at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like first year in Bluffton, you're in college as a freshman, and you wilding out.
For sure.
And I was like, like I'm working for a ministry, like on fire for Jesus.
And then there's me.
Not in this, in
a bad way,
but in this way of like, hey, like, so it was like not a lot of my prayer life, but like just a lot of prayer of just like, dang, I hope she figures it out, I hope she gets it, and then to see like where you are now, but also like that kind of like radical, it felt like this like flip, like
no, for sure,
all like a switch on a wall, like
for sure,
like a very quick flip, and I was like,
a good old flapjack.
Dang, this is crazy. Of like, one, like answered prayer, but also just like to see where you were, and then just kind of to see like the Lord change your heart in like this. It felt like a very short time, right?
For
like,
sure.
It felt like you kind of came to the realization like, whoa, I'm like really wild now. I need to figure something out, right?
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. It was just like interesting to see it from afar, whereas like mom and dad, Jamil, were seeing you all the time, whereas I was seeing you
once a couple months.
Yeah. So like that was just like very much something for me. Just like seeing that from afar was like, dang, this is crazy. Like it started like you were like posting devos on your story or whatever, and like posting stuff about the church in Columbia and stuff like that, and like going to CTC. You know what I'm saying? It's like. So I don't know. It was like for me, it was just like a very cool and interesting thing to see it from afar, of just like not being in like kind of the day to day.
Yeah,
you know.
Sure. And I guess to flip that too, because like for me, I never got to experience Young Life. So then like that summer you were in Sharp Top, coming to visit and like seeing a bunch of I'm like, and I think because that was the summer that I was in school. You were in Sharp Top. What summer did we come see you?
Oh no, that was you. That was your senior year
of high school.
No, sorry, junior high school.
Junior year of high school.
Because I was Sharp Top 18, 19, and you graduated in 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the summer going into your senior year of high school.
Right. And so, but like even like seeing you, like after seeing that, I was like, okay, cool. But then two, again, like I said, I went to college, so I kind of like forgot all of that respectfully. But then you being in Bluffton with the Alberts and like just like seeing it from afar, but also seeing, because like we follow each other on socials, right? So even though we weren't necessarily talking every day, seeing it from afar of like after, like I would say after the switch happened, I'm like, okay, he out here doing his thing too, you know what I'm saying? And like, and even like Jamil, she was going to Elevation, and like all of those things of like we kind of all simultaneously, not at the same time, but like simultaneously came back around, right?
Yeah, it was like
we spun the block.
Yeah, spun the block with Jesus.
Swerve in that corner.
No, whoa. You stupid. But yeah, it was like this weird kind of thing, right? Like I went to college and kind of had my like spurt of like freshman year, like doing what I want, whatever. Right. I became a young life leader, and it was like not a very quick, but like this gradual kind of like, okay, like if I'm gonna be a young life leader, I have to like make sure that my heart and my relationship with the Lord is where it needs to be, or
Right.
like at least I need to be trying to like get
Right.
it to where it needs to be.
Right.
Jamil went to college, kind of did her own thing, and like I would say Jamil didn't like have this like crazy like I don't want to call it a fall off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like she went to college and was wilding, but it wasn't like you wilding and me wilding in college. You know what I'm saying? Like
fair.
so I feel like
We're not gonna throw her under the bus.
but like Jamil just felt more like for me it was like getting to college was kind of like this, right?
Right.
And Jamil was kind of like, meh, you know, and kind of
Right.
like not stay.
It was like a
and yours was like get to college, wham, and then came shooting.
back.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shooting back up,
Fair,
right?
fair.
So like we all kind of like ebbed and flowed, but like kind of what you're saying, like came back around, spun the block, like at different times,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So it was
For
like
sure.
just interesting to see, like, okay, not saying like I was first, but it was like I was kind of like first into this
For
like
sure.
season of like, all right, I'm sold out for Jesus. I'm trying to like live
For
my
sure.
life and be a minister and you know all that kind of stuff.
But I think even that is like a testament in itself of like
right,
like saying it out loud now and like
Right.
talking through it is
Right.
like you were an example without realizing you were an example.
sure.
Right.
And I think that was the thing. It wasn't even like I'm trying to be an example. It was more of just like I hope they catch it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like I'm throwing it.
For sure.
I hope they catch it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I think that's like the beautiful and again I think that's the beautiful thing of walking with the Lord. But like I said, like you said, all like we all grew up in the same household.
Mhm.
We all were in essence taught the same thing,
Mhm.
right? And I think that's what is important about that foundation that we did have,
Mhm.
even though we did go through those ebbs and flows. But that's in essence what walking with the Lord is in general,
Right.
right? Because even to this day, there are some days where, respectfully, not gonna lie, being home for the last couple weeks, I was not in my word how I needed to.
Right. But I mean, I think I tell my high school friends all the time when I was on Young Life staff, and just like tell people all the time, like there is no like equation to following Jesus.
Correct.
Right. There is
No.
no perfect routine equation of like how to follow Jesus. I said, hey man, like if you really want to follow Jesus and like you want to do this, you just got to wake up and try to follow Jesus every day.
For sure.
Whatever that looks like in your life in that season,
Right.
at time, whatever, wake up and try and follow Jesus every day, knowing like, hey, I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna make mistakes,
Right.
but I gotta wake up and at least try to follow Jesus
For
and
sure.
try to like live my life for the Lord. Right? There is this like no like
There's no perfect equation to it by any means.
right.
And like what you said, following like waking up and making that choice every day to do it is
Mhm.
a choice, which is why he gives us free will, because
Right.
it is a choice,
Right.
right? And I think too, but on the flip side of that, I think once you've made that choice, there are certain daily practices
Right.
that you should be
Right.
doing to do that,
100%.
right?
100%.
And even with that, like you said, like I said, there are going to be the ebbs and flows of it,
Mhm.
and there may be times where you do fall off, but that's why he died for our sins. That's why he gives us grace and he gives us
Mhm.
mercy, right?
Mhm.
But I think the overarching picture of even how kind of the three of us or the two of us grew up, went away a little bit, not really, but like you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying. We fell off, we jumped off the cliff, and then he
All
came
like
in,
sheep have gone astray.
for sure. He
You know
came
what
and
I'm
grabbed
saying?
us up, right? Just goes to show that like one, this Christian walk isn't perfect,
Mhm.
and I think in today's day and age, there is kind of a veil of perfection that is put on Christians that I don't think should be there, but like a lot of Christians have like accepted, like, oh, and then that's why you have the fall that's so quick, because you wanted to pick up this portrayal of being perfect and it's not
Mhm.
perfect.
Mhm.
But I think too, there's always that subconscious of there, like I said, there's always the choice.
Mhm.
Like you have to make that choice on
Mhm.
a daily basis to get up and live your life for Christ.
Mhm.
But at the same time, be an example, right?
Mhm.
So like I said, you were an example and didn't know you were an example probably wasn't even looking at it as an example,
Right.
But the way that you were waking up every day and choosing the Lord and walking and showing that, right? Because you don't post on social media like that, respectfully.
I don't.
But through what you did post and conversations we did have, rarely, but like, because respectfully, when you're at Young Life Camp, you don't have service. But being that example to even be able to look at, right? Like, you're my older brother, respectfully. Like, I should be able to look up to you. I do. Sometimes. Sometimes. Not everything. Sometimes.
You shouldn't.
No, I don't.
Not all the time.
Not all the times. But we can look up to each other.
A lot of the time.
For sure. Be an inspiration.
Sure.
And that you were.
Yeah.
And we thank you for that. This has been part 1 of me on the couch with my brother. I honestly don't remember how we started this episode. We started with your life. Never mind.
Yeah.
Hope you guys were able to get something from this. He's an interesting character. In a good way, though.
I know I'm interesting.
You're an interesting character in a good way. But yeah. Oh, the mic moved. It sounded weird.
It was my finger.
It was. But yeah, this has been another episode of Untitled Conversations. With my good brother. So we're going to see you guys in the next episode, which will come out next week. We're still in a snowstorm though, so honestly, we might just be sitting here talking for the rest of the night, but we'll see what happens. So make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, drop a comment, all that fun stuff. You know, the episode is coming to a close because I get to rambling. That's how we always end the episodes. Is when I get to rambling, that means it's time for us to, you know what I'm saying?
Or we can just keep rambling.
No, it just gets redundant, you know?
Okay.
So
this is your podcast, not mine.
Sure.
I'm a guest.
For sure, you are. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this extra long episode because you normally get 30 minutes, little give or take 30 to 40 minutes. This is an hour, so hope you guys are able to get something this. All of my PKs and church kids out there, shout out to you guys. Shout out to us as a collective whole of PKs and or church kids. Keep God in your life, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.